Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV and also Hammerdown TV. Tonight we're live on both Facebook pages. We're also live on the YouTube .com/ Ultimate Dirt TV as well. So if you want to watch it in 1080p, you can. So tonight, the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series presents the Joker's Wild Night, or Race 1 I should say. Coming up here on the program, race number 2 will be up after this one in roughly about an hour's time. My name is Brett Wheeler. Thank you for joining us here. In the booth with me tonight is the Team City driver of Zane Scott. Zane, welcome, and how are you going?
I'm doing great, Brett. I'm glad to be here tonight. I think it's going to be some great night of racing here. We've seen DOB at Eldora before, and it didn't disappoint. So we're coming back with the 410s, and I'm ready for an action-packed show.
All right, speaking of the action-packed show, it's about to get underway. Practice coming to a close right now, so we'll have qualifying up each driver. Well, there's going to be a 2-minute session. Each driver will have their chance to lay down 2 lap times, and then we'll get set into some heat races as well. So we're just waiting on some of the cars to get onto the racetrack, and then we'll watch them as they come out. So we're not going to be able to watch everyone qualify. It's a matter of just finding out who's on the racetrack. And the first driver that we're on board with in the 127, it's Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill in the 127. Come around for his first lap here at Eldora. Track is going to carry over all night as well, so should make some fantastic racing. A 13.819 for Stephen Hill. Western Hill second. Quick Craig Dunn jumps to position number 1 with a 13.671. He says position 1 now. Here goes Austin Carr with a 13.496. Zane, it's something these guys are going to have to contend with. That outside line is going to be fast tonight. And man, there's a lot of fast guys here to try and take out tonight's Joker's Wild.
Definitely is, Brett. This is a stacked field. We got Austin Carr, Robert Kerstetter, Lewis Hewitt, Nathan Davis, some of the top names on iRacing here. I'm currently watching Robert Kerstetter ran the cushion there and goes second quick with a 13.55. But as I say that, Lewis Hewitt goes to second with a 13.531.
Times are very close towards the top of the speed charts at the moment, as Jason Miner jumps up to position number 5 in the 14 car with a 13.641. You're watching on screen the 6 car. I believe that is Cody Olsen. Cody Olsen in that 6 machine, getting his first lap in here at the Eldora Speedway. We've just got about 15 seconds left of qualifying here, so he needs to get a time in. He will get a time in. It's going to be 9th quick with a 13.738, and man, there is it's going to be an action-packed night of racing, that's for sure. With some of the top guys at iRacing coming out to try and pick up a Joker's Wild win here. Race number 1 and race number 2 later on tonight. The Joker's Wild winner will be the best finish averaging position of the driver over the two races. So plenty of racing to come here on Ultimate Dirt TV.
Definitely. I was watching Anthony Oppresso there at the end of the qualifying session, runs the bottom and goes with a 13.6, I believe, and that put him in the top 10. So this track might be multi-group here early on in these heat races.
All right, let's get set for heat race number 1 here as we're waiting on some of the cars to get onto the racetrack. And we know the 13 of Austin Carr will start on bowl. And to his outside, it's going to be the Black Diamonds Motorsports 36 entry of Nathan Davis out of position number 2. Out of position 3 will be the 6 of Cody Olsen. To his outside, the 31 of Tyson Landis. Chris Roberts will start inside round number 3 in the 93 car out of position 5. And out of position 6, it's going to be the 5 of Brandon Steele. Out of position 7 is scheduled to be the 08 of Rusty Law. Then we know you've run 360s and 410s in the past with the Dirty Old Bastards guys. On a track like this at the moment, if you're in Heat 1, where are you going to be wanting to put your race car?
Well, if I'm the guys up front, I'm definitely going to rush to get to the cushion. I think the cushion right now is going to be the fast way around. I mean, this is Eldora, Brett. If you're in the back, you might have to search around a little bit, go a line low, or maybe try that bottom like we saw Lepresso do in qualifying to get up to the front. But I definitely think the front 2 guys, Austin and Nathan Davis, are going to get to that cushion as quick as they can and maybe duel it out once they get close to each other.
Something we might see here tonight as well is quite a few slide jobs. A very tricky place to do some slide jobs because you've really got to carry momentum and speed into throwing a slide job. However, if you're unable to clear that slide job and the guy drives back around you, you're going to lose quite a lot of time going down either the back straightaway or the front straightaway.
Yeah, you gotta, when you throw them slide jabs, you gotta come up the track and keep that momentum going, or the guy behind you, or the guy you're sliding, is be able to cross back under if he's got that the racing smarts on him. And I'm looking at the weather; it's about 81 degrees. The track sits at 84, but the humidity's at 77%. So this track might hold a little bit of humidity throughout the night, which will definitely help out keeping multi grooves and allowing guys to throw some big sliders.
All right, heat number 1 of the night. We're getting set to roll off. 10 laps on the board. The winner will start on pole for the main event for race number 1 of the Joker's Wild, and we are green, and straight away Austin Carr gets straight to the top side of the racetrack, but Nathan Davis following closely in behind him down the back straightaway, tagging the back of the 13. Now Davis down to the low side, trying to get a run on Austin Carr. Carr will lead the opening lap, keep an eye on the 93 of Chris Roberts. He's trying to make his way through the field as well.
Roberts running the bottom side through both turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now he's going to go to the high side through 3 and 4. But Nathan Davis is in the wall.
And an early mistake there from Davis. That's going to cost him, and he's got some rear end damage on that race car. So he's going to be at the back of the bus for tonight's main event, or maybe even a B main if we have enough cars here this evening. But at the moment, see the battle on screen between Olsen and Roberts. Roberts on the inside in the 93. Here comes Tyson Landis as well. 3 wide off in turn number 2. The battle is on for the minor placings.
Roberts gets a little tap from Olsen's going to go up the track, but he's going to cut back down and try to split the gap between Landis and Olsen, but he's not going to be able to, and Olsen's going to run the middle. Landis is making the bottom side work, though, but he's going to lose a little bit of time there coming out of 1 and 2.
Certainly it's Olsen in second spot. Austin Carr, he is just checked out. He's got nearly a 1.5 second lead over Cody Olsen. Landis in third. And fourth is, well, Roberts, he's got some issues. He's slowing. Not sure what's going on with that 93 machine, but now that puts Brandon Steele up into position number 4. And that's some big news ahead for that 93 team.
Roberts did get in the wall. I'm wondering if it didn't give him the dreaded meatball flag or he ran out of gas, but he's going to pull off, and that's going to clear up that battle there for second, third, and fourth.
And at the moment, you can see on screen the 13 of Austin Carr in the Dirtco Media United Dirt Sim Racing Association. He is out in front. He's got a clean set of heels at the moment. He's coming to 2 laps to go here at the Eldora Speedway. Heat race number 1 for the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. The Joker's Wild. Race number 1. Cody Olsen rides in second, and Tyson Landis, your top 3.
Austin Carr out front by about 2 seconds as he's running the cushion. The wing a little bit in the trunk there on Carr's number 13. We go back to the field, look at Cody Olsen. His wing's up a little bit more forward, so he maybe prefers a looser handling car compared to Carr, but that is going to be it there for the finish. Carr's going to take the win, Olsen second.
And well done to Austin Carr, Cody Olsen, Tyson Landis home in third, Brandon Steele. And went to Chris Roberts in fifth, Nathan Davis in sixth. We've seen Davis and Roberts retire early. So well done to heat number 1 winner Austin Carr. Heat number 2 getting set onto the racetrack in just a few moments' time. In fact, why don't you read us the rundown order?
So starting on heat 2, starting on the pole is going to be Mr. Money in the Bank, Lewis Hewitt in the TTL Esports Ultimate Dirt TV car. To his outside, it should be a scheduled number 57 UWU Motorsports Wicked Cushion Lepresto Racing Ultimate Dirt TV car of Anthony Lepresto. Starting on the inside of row 2 in the number 22 Deadhead SWC Racing car, it'll be Weston Yule. And to his outside, in the Dirty Old Bastards number 73 Blue Sphere Wicked Cushion 410 Sprint car, that'll be Alan Sumrell. Starting further back in the field in the 5th position, in number 33 Ryzen Sprint car, that'll be Brian Fine. And to his outside and tagging the tail in the number 134 MRT Kivik Design, that'll be Scott Tyler.
All right, heat race number 2. What a front row this is. Lewis Hewitt and Anthony Lepresto, both very fast. Whenever they put their backsides into a race car here on the RAC service, they know how to get the job done. And well, I'm going to say my money's on Lewis here because he's got the pole. He's going to have control of the field. He's going to be able to, jump when he wants when he gets to that restart line between that and when the pace car goes as well. So, look, no doubt Lepresto has got the speed or will have the speed to catch him. But I think, these guys are fairly even when it comes to racing the 410s here around Eldora Speedway.
Definitely, Brett, and I think Lepresso's going to have the momentum coming in after his solid finish of the last Thursday in the 410s. But we are green, and Hewitt, as you talked about, gets a great start. And Lepresso's going to get loose going in the one, and that is going to allow Newell and Summerall to go by him, and Fines looking on the inside.
Yeah, not a start that Lepresto needed. He's gone from second to fourth, maybe even fifth, depending on if the 33 of Brian Fine can get underneath him and make the pass. But looks like Lepresto's going to gather himself up after that horrible opening lap that he had. Now he's gone to the low side, down into turn number 3 and 4. Going to look to make the pass on Samuel with a slide job. He does with a pull a slider into 3 and 4. And Anthony Lepresto up to position number 3.
Lepresso threw the slide jump and Summerall drove right into the back bumper and couldn't go anywhere. Now Lepresso's going to set his sights on Newell, but Hewitt's going to take advantage of the race and pull away. Now both cars to the bottom side. Lepresso's going to run the bottom on Newell. Looks to the bottom side. Newell's going to try the top side to get the run. They're side by side down the back straightaway going into 3.
Yeah, bottom side in 1 and 2, certainly fast. We've seen Lepresto pull up alongside Western Newell. Newell, I think, went to go to block the slide job, but he kind of pulled out of, pulling that blocking line going into turn number 1 and 2 on the previous lap, and Lepresto was able to get a run as Lepresto finds his way back up to position number 2, halfway home here, and Lewis Hewitt, he is gone by a second and a half.
Hewitt pulls away, and the cars have single file now on the cushion. Lepresto in second. Newell's running about a line below the cushion, maybe trying something different to see if he can't gain any ground on Lepresto. Summerall, Fine, and Tyler round out the field, but Hewitt coming to complete lap 7.
Yeah, Hewitt all cushion and all dominant so far. Western Newell once again getting a run on the Presto, but it's just the corner exit speed at the moment off turn 4, but it was really slowing down that 222 machine. As I said, Lepresto made a mistake on the cushion on the exit of turn number 2, and that's going to allow Western Newell to close in on that 57, but time is running out, 2 laps to go.
Newell pulls it back down, is going to run right below Lepresto, but Lepresto gets back on the cushion and gets to drive. Now the question is going to be if Lepresto has any damage to the rear end of that sprint car.
Well, he's got 1 lap to hang on, half a mile to go to hang on to second place. Lewis Hewitt looking to pick up the win here in heat race number 2 and start on the outside of the front row. He rails the cushion through turns 3 and 4. He gets the job done. The battle is on for second and third. Lepresto comes to the line. He gets the checkers first before Western Newell home in third. Alan Smell fourth. Brian Fine and Scott Tyler rounds out the 6-car field in heat race number 2. And man, as we said, Hewitt was just dominating. It was all top side of the racetrack. It's going to make for an interesting main event later on.
Lewis Hewitt has been one of the guys we've seen constantly, no matter what type of car or what series, can run the cushion smooth, and that is key with the current iRacing build. He puts it up there, doesn't make any mistakes, and for him, that's a huge advantage because no one's able to touch him.
Well, it's a pretty stacked field here in heat race number 3, starting on the pole in the 27 car, the LNS Express Wicked Cushion. It is Robert Kerstetter to his outside. In the 057, it's Craig Dunn. Inside row number 2, starting out of position 3 in the Team SETI Group Holdings Wicked Cushion Golby's I-Pace 127, it's Stephen Hill. To the outside of row number 2, out of position 4 in the 21, in the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards Blue Sphere Wicked Cushion Ultimate Dirt TV 21, it's Tyler Henselman, his teammate. In car number 20, Jonathan Lowe will start out of position 5. And how about this for our 6th starter in the Black Diamonds Motorsports, Hammerdown TV, Ultimate Dirt TV, car number 39, it's John Batista. He's been no stranger to starting at the back and finding a way towards the front here. Zane, we're going to keep an eye on Batista from the outside of row number 3. With the current racetrack that we've got at the moment with the guys here, where do you expect him to finish in this one?
Batista's going to have his hands full, but he's definitely going to be the one I think all eyes are going to be on. We've seen him charge from the back. We've seen him pull alphabet soup here at Eldora with the Dirty Old Bastards. But Robert Kerstetter sitting on the pole is going to be a tough guy to beat.
Here we go, heat race number 3. Kerstetter will lead us to the drop of the green flag. Green flag are underway. Another 10 laps on the board. We'll keep an eye on Kerstetter. Look at Batista straight to the bottom side, picking up 2 positions. Oh, no, he gets into the back of Dunn. Not sure what happened to Craig Dunn, but a 360 by Dunn, and, well, we stay green.
We stay green, but Batista got into him pretty hard. That may have damaged Batista's race car, but that's going to let Hinselman and Lowe get back by him to run third and fourth. Now Batista's on the outside looking in as Hill runs second and Kerster starts to pull away.
Yeah, we've seen the guys starting on the front row on the pole position, really drive away from the rest of the field in the opening heat race. Is no different here in heat race number 3. Henselman trying to work to the outside. Oh, Henselman and Batista come together. Henselman, he's going to lose a spot. Batista keeps on going. He gets to the cushion in 1 and 2 and now sets his sight on the back of the 20 machine. He goes to the low side into turn number 3 and 4, looking for the double slider. Well, that had to be pinpoint, and it was. Here comes Lowe back to the inside. The battle is on for second.
Batista gets back into the wall and turns 1 and 2. He's going to lose ground, but he's going to pull it back down and get another run on Lowe. Now this time he's going to look again for the 2 for 1, but he's not going to peel it off. He's going to split the gap between Hill and Lowe, and he's going to battle for third. He'll go back to the cushion in 1 and 2 as Lowe looks to the inside of Stephen Hill for second. Not going to be able to, and here comes Batista on the outside.
Batista making the cushion work all the way around the outside from 6th up to position number 2. He don't think he's going to have enough time. Oh no, Batista into the wall again. He comes down in front of John Lowe, almost takes his front end out. Hill got by him, but here comes Batista again with a slide job on Stephen Hill. The battle continues for second and third.
Hill goes back to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to slide up, but Batista's going to run the cushion. He's got to keep it clean. They're going to have 2 to go when they get to the line. Batista back to the cushion, Hill through the middle. Batista's going to get the run out of turn 4 this time and take that big lead going in the 1. Now Hill gets in the wall. He's going to lose ground to Lowe. He's going to come down the racetrack. They almost touch, but they keep it off each other. We stay green.
Yeah, both Hill and Lowe were very lucky there as they're watching those drivers on screen at the moment. Stephen Hill, he had a good start to this heat race, but unfortunately he's just fallen back. We're into 3 and 4 for the final time in heat race number 3. Robert Kerstetter gets the win. Second will go to Batista. Third is going to be John Lowe. Fourth is Stephen Hill. Fifth is Craig Dunn. And Tyler Henselman with a DNF here in heat race number 3. Man, what a race that was. And, well, Batista showed his intentions clear and shows that he is going to be one of the guys to beat here tonight. Along with that, probably 5 or 6 other drivers. It's certainly going to be an awesome show here this evening.
Without a doubt, Batista once again showing why he is so good and so good at Eldora, hitting that cushion, making the mistakes, but being able to recover and then capitalize on the run that he was getting from it to go basically from last place after missing qualifying up to second position.
Oh, heat race number 4 on the racetrack. And so you read us off the grid here for heat race number 4.
So starting on the pole in the number 14 car, Dirt Company USDRA, it'll be Jason Minat. To his outside, on the outside of the pole, in the VLR, Beer Hill Gang, number 23, it'll be Steven Calavoda. Starting on the inside of row 2, in the number 97, Team SETI, Wicked Cushion, SETI Group Holdings, number 97 will be Matthew Henninger. And to his outside in the BC Racing, number 00, that will be Dalton Connor. And then on the inside of the third and final row in the 83 Busch Light Machine, it'll be Devin Johnson. And to his outside in the number 05, it'll be Tyler Curtis.
The final heat race of the night here at Eldora Speedway, the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series Jokers Wild, presented by Dirty Old Bastards. Race number 1, race 2 will be up in about 50 minutes time. We're going to get through tonight's program for race number 1 first, and then we'll have race number 2. We are green in the final heat race of the night, and it's Jason Minot who will lead into 1 and 2. Henninger on the inside, got past Calavoda up to position number 2. Calavoda won't be happy about that one, as now Henninger getting a run on Jason Minot into turn 3 and 4. But Jason Minot going to continue to lead this one here in the opening lap.
Calavoda's going to fall back to third. He's going to get in the wall. He'll fall back to 4th and 5th. We were 3 wide in the backstretch. Calavoda struggling to get the car back under control. He's going to come down the racetrack. He'll go all the way from 3rd to 6th. You can throw a blanket over the cars running 6th, 5th, and 4th. That's the battle for the final transfer position. Dalton Connor to the high side is going to cut down the racetrack to get the run on Devin Johnson going into 3.
Now Connor on the inside in that 00 machine now. He's gotten by the 83 of Devin Johnson, but keep an eye on Curtis as well. Just stalking and praying for a mistake from both of these drivers running 3rd and 4th. Minot starting to pull a bit of a lead now over the 97 of Henninger. Here comes Curtis with a double slide job, and they went 3 wide. Oh no, Connor tagged the back of Johnson. Johnson goes around, Connor goes back to 5th, and here comes Calavota in the 23 back. Oh! Jason Minot around on the exit of turn number 2. Let's take a look at the Colby's Eye Paints instant replay to see what happened to your race leader.
Minot just goes into turn 1. We've seen it many times tonight. Guys going in the 1 and get part of the wall. He's going to ride the wall for a little bit. He's going to come down, but he can't ever get it back under control as he's going to spin it out. And that's going to allow Matthew Henninger to inherit the race lead on the restart.
No, unfortunately for Jason Minot, he goes from 0 to 0 at the moment, as it looks like he's should be scored a lap down right now. I'm not sure why he'd be actually getting his spot back at the front, considering that he was the reason for the caution. But when we go green, we'll have a green-white checker here in the final heat race of the night.
Minot is scored a lap down, so the race leader will be Matthew Henninger, and who that benefits, I think, the most is Stephen Calavoti, who was running 5th on the outside looking in, and after the contact between Connor and Johnson will go up to that 3rd position to make the A main.
Alright, so lights are out on the iRacing official pace truck, and I believe that this might be a first heat win for Matthew Henninger in the Dirty Old Bastards League since the heat race inception has been brought in. So I believe if he could hold on for just 2 more laps, it would be his first heat race win and would put him in good position to start tonight's main event from that outside of the 2nd row. But yeah, he's going to do 2 laps around Eldora Speedway before we can say that one, as the green flag is underway, and he wastes no time in getting going and through the middle of turns number 1 and 2. And I think these guys are trying to stay off the cushion. Here comes Calavota on the inside of Tyler Curtis.
Calavota is going to run the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to slide up to the middle. Curtis misses the cushion a little bit. That's going to allow Calavota to run close. And there's big contact in the back of the field. It looked like Curtis got sideways. Connor had nowhere to go. They get together, and we have 1 car upside down in turn 1. It'll be Tyler Curtis.
And off of turn number 4 now, Matthew Henninger will grab the win here in heat race number 4. So the 97 picking up what I believe is his first heat win. Stephen Calavota 2nd, Minot gets back to 3rd, Devin Johnson 4th, Dalton Connor 5th, and Tyler Curtis with that car upside down comes home with a 6th place finish here. As now I believe we're going to have our B main up next on the program. And just a reminder, as we are live on Hammerdown TV, if you haven't already done so, hit the like and follow button on Hammerdown TV, and you can check out the Ultimate Dirt TV social media info. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Ultimate Dirt TV. Hit that like button as well. And you can check out our YouTube channel. We're live on there as well. You can watch it in 1080p. Go to youtube.com/Ultimate Dirt TV, and you can hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a cent. You'll be notified of when we go live. We're going to be live pretty much nearly every night of the week. Live on YouTube and also live on our Facebook page, along with Hammerdown TV as well. B main lineup is brought to you by SETI Group Holdings. We'll have our starting grid here in just a moment. In fact, Zane, if you want to read us that one out.
Sure, we'll have 9 cars battling for 8 positions in the 10-lap B main. And starting on the pole in the number 93 Dirt Truck Ambassadors Ultimate Dirt TV Blue Spear Sprint car, it'll be Chris Roberts. To his outside, in the number 33 Ryzen Premier Truck Group Freightliner, it'll be Brian Fine. On the inside of row 2, and the Boulevard Pub, it looks like Precise 057 will be Craig Dunn and the WSC Sprint car. And starting to his outside, in the 00 BC Racing, it'll be Dalton Connor. Starting 5th in the 36 Hammerdown TV Black Diamond Motorsports machine, it'll be Nathan Davis. And to his outside, in the number 134, it'll be Scott Tyler. Starting 7th on Dirt Track Ambassadors number 21, it'll be Tyler Henselman. And to his outside, in the 05 Superflow machine, it'll be Tyler Curtis. And supposed to tag the rear of the field is the 08 car of Rusty Laura, but looks like he has scratched for the night. So we'll have 8 cars, all 8 will advance, and they're racing to figure out where they're going to start tonight's main event.
All right, here we go. 12 laps to distance. Chris Roberts will lead us down off of turn number 4 and down into 1 and 2. Craig Dunn on the inside as well, looking for the race lead. Keep an eye on Nathan Davis in the 36. He's going to have a point to prove as he's right now sitting in 4th spot. But your race leader in the 93 of Chris Roberts. And here comes Dunn. Not Dunn. Sorry, Dunn is on the inside, but here comes Davis. He gets past Brian Fine for 3rd.
Slight contact between Fine and Davis, but Davis is going to keep it going. Fine's going to struggle in the further, or a little bit back in the pack, but Davis was going to get the run on the 057 of Craig Dunn, but the caution is going to come out, and that'll kill the run, and he'll have to start back up into 3rd position.
Now let's take a look at our copies. iPaint's instant replay here. Brian Fine in the 33 going upside down, just got a little out of shape down the back straight away, came down onto the racetrack. Henselman and Fine had contact. Henselman had nowhere to go. He was trying to avoid Fine, but Brian Fine upside down in the middle of turns 3 and 4. It's not going to be his night over. Race is over though, but he will start in position number 24 for tonight's main event for the Joker's Wild race number 1. For the Wicked Cushion presented by Dirty Old Bastards.
Yeah, the night not over for Brian Fine, so he'll have to regroup, get that car repaired for tonight's A main, and he'll have to tag the tail. But so far, Nathan Davis looks like the big mover here in the B main, as he's gone from the 5th to the 3rd spot and looking to get some more. He's got 2 guys in front of him, but they're both going to be pretty tricky to pass.
All right, we're going to go on board with Nathan Davis on this next restart as we're coming to the 1 to green signal right now. You can just have a look at the racetrack, just looking on the right front to speed to see how close these drivers get to the wall. I'll let you lead this one, Zane.
All right, so the pace track will pull in turn 4. Chris Roberts will have command of the field. Craig Dunn is behind him. Dunn looked like he was working a little bit in the middle of the racetrack and then went up. We'll see if he's got anything for Roberts on the start. And then Nathan Davis, running back in 3rd, will be on the cushion for sure, trying to get those 2 spots. And we are green hike back in the B main. We are halfway home as Roberts gets a good run, and here comes Davis. He's actually going to go to the bottom side of the racetrack, slide up, and he's going to make the pass on Dunn for 2nd. Here comes Dalton Connor down the back straightaway. He's going to go into 3rd.
Well, I just wonder if Nathan Davis is going to have a black flag because he may have passed before the start-finish line on that restart just then. He got a great run on Craig Dunn. But as we go to 3 and 4, we're still on board with Nathan Davis as he rides the cushion through turns 3 and 4. You can see your race leader just in front of him, Roberts, through the middle, now trying to slide up to get to the cushion. Now they race nearly side by side down the back straightaway, Roberts and Davis. Here comes Davis with a slide job.
Davis with a big slide job in turn 3 and 4, and he's going to take command of the lead, but Roberts is going to work the bottom side through 1 and 2 and try to get it back, but he's not going to be able to get the run on Davis as Davis starts to pull away down the back straightaway. Henselman, however, is going to look on Dalton Connor for the 3rd position as Connor struggles on the cushion. He's going to come down the racetrack as they go into 1 and 2. They're going to follow basically right into the turn as Tyler Curtis trying to work the bottom side slides up on Craig Dunn as Dunn has been shuffled back from 2nd to 5th since the restart.
Checkered flag is out. 10 lap B main, and Nathan Davis getting the job done. Chris Roberts comes home in 2nd. Dalton Connor in 3rd. And now we get set for the main event here with 24 starters for 30 laps of the distance here in the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series Joker's Wild here at Eldora Speedway. And let's go through our starting lineup. Starting out of position number 24, in car number 33, it's going to be Brian Fine. On his inside in the 134, out of position 23, it's Scott Tyler. Out of position number 22, in the 05, it's Tyler Curtis. On his inside, out of position 21, it's a 057 of Craig Dunn. Starting out...
Oh, my bad, Brett. You can go ahead and take this one.
Go for it.
Starting 20th, the number 21 Dirt Track Ambassadors, which will be Tyler Hinsman, and to his inside, it'll be the 00 car of Dalton Connor. Starting 18th, it'll be the 93 machine of Chris Roberts, and to his inside, number 36 Black Time Motorsports will be Nathan Davis.
Devin Johnson starts out of position 16. Stephen Hill out of position 15. Alan Samo out of 14. Out of 13 is going to be Brandon Steele.
Starting 12th will be the number 14, Jason Minad. To his inside, it'll be Jonathan Lowe in the number 20. Starting in the top 10 and will be in the number 222 machine of Weston Newell. And to his inside, in the number 31 will be Tyson Landis.
We go to our top 4 rows. Stephen Calavota starts out of position number 8. John Batista out of 7. 6 is Anthony Lepresto. Cody Olsen out of 5th. Matthew Henninger, Robert Kerstetter, Lewis Hewitt, and Austin Carr is our final starters. Austin Carr and Lewis Hewitt. Our front row for tonight's Jokers Wild race number 1. 30 on the board. Let's get dirty for 30. We are green here at Eldora Speedway. We go into 1 and 2. These drivers are 2. Then 3 wide in some parts of the racetrack. We've got cars into the wall in turns number 1 and 2. And the caution flag flies for the first time here in tonight's main event.
Big contact in the back of the field there. It looked like some contact had a couple of guys all sideways and bring out the caution. And then even after the caution came out, guys still trying to get slowed down. We're all over each other. A couple of guys getting into the fence.
And looking at the Colby's Eye Paints instant replay here, looks like Devin Johnson just got a little bit squirrely. And then in the middle of 1 and 2, his car just, oh, it looks like that car was very, very loose. And it just shot up to the racetrack, and Devin Johnson goes upside down. Tyler Henselman involved in that one as well. But thankfully for Tyler, he's still able to circulate on the racetrack at the moment. In fact, he's going back to pit road. You can see on screen right now. So Tyler Henselman not having a good start to race number 1 for the Wicked Cushion Jokers Wild here at Eldora Speedway.
Not all. It's tough to get caught up in an accident on the first lap, but Nathan Davis started 17th, has got up to 15th, and I think he's going to be a guy to watch, try to climb through this field. We know he's going to be on the cushion, but he's got a lot of guys to pass, and they're not easy names.
No, they're certainly not. And one thing he's going to have to contend with as well is obviously the traffic, the track as well. But he's going to be wanting to hope for a couple of cautions if he's going to have a chance at getting through the field and making a run towards the front here, as we green flag this time by. So white flag will come out at lap number 33. So still 29 laps left to run here in race number 1 of Jokers Wild. Austin Carr, a slow pace through turns at 3 and 4. He's got Lewis Hewitt and Robert Kerstetter behind him as the pace track pulls to the infield. Austin Carr gets on the gas and we're back underway.
Carr goes down in 1 and 2 on the cushion. Kerstetter was in a line off. He got a little out of shape and goes up to the top. But here comes John Batista up in the 5th, and there's contact with him and Cody Olsen. Olsen's going to get shuffled back as Batista sets his eyes forward. But here comes Hewitt. He's starting to gain ground on Austin Carr.
Yeah, these two certainly know how to get the job done. They've certainly raced each other quite a few times. Now they race through turns 3 and 4 here at Eldora. Austin Carr continuing to lead this one. Lewis Hewitt closely in second by about a car length off. And here is Robert Kerstetter back there in third. Batista in 4th. And Stephen Calavota was 5th, but he's around on the entry into turns 1 and 2, along with Matthew Henninger, who is upside down. And after having a heat win in heat race number 4, he finds himself up on his lid. And unfortunately, he's on the back of the virtual tow truck, heading back towards pit lane as we have a look at the Colby's Eye Paints instant replay.
Yeah, Calavota on the top side of the racetrack trying to make it work, but the big problem with the cushion, it's a big risk and reward type deal. Comes off of turn 2, gets into the wall a little bit, it's going to get out of shape, comes down the racetrack, and unfortunately for Matthew Henninger, had nowhere to go, and he's going to back it into the wall going into 3 and get on his lid.
And it's something that at the moment he was just a bit of a passenger in that one. He was minding his own business on the bottom side of the racetrack. As you said, risk versus reward, and you get off that cushion, you get the wall, it generally will shoot the car down to the left or the bottom of the racetrack. And unfortunately for Henninger, he was the innocent party in that one. As Calavota, let's see if he's back on pit road. He is back on pit road, so we've already lost a handful of cars in this one. As Tyler Henselman's still circulating, about to come back out onto the racetrack, still circulating, no front wing on that race car, but it's all about trying to be consistent and try and get that finishing spot as high as you can.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Tyler to be consistent for all 30 laps without the front wing here at Eldora, but it's definitely possible. He's just got to play a little bit more conservative. But Nathan Davis started 17th up to 9th, and Craig Dunn, who started 21st, has made his way up to 14th. So we got some big movers coming up through the field to keep an eye on, but I think my eyes are on Hewitt and Carr as we get ready for the restart.
And white flag will come out at lap number 36, so 26 remain at the moment, so we've only got 4 laps complete. Oh no, Landis and Western Newell had contact. Now Davis and Olsen, Stephen Hill, Brandon Steele around, and the caution flag flies immediately. Let's take a look at our Colby's iPaint's instant replay on that one, because it had everything. It started with, I believe, Landis and Western Newell.
It looks like Newell got a good jump. Landis kind of come off the top of turn 4 on the front stretch, and Newell is right below, and they make contact. Newell gets out of shape, and then Landis checks up in front of everyone coming from behind him, and that caused a little bit of a stir-up. And unfortunately, Stephen Hill had nowhere to go as everyone checked up in front of him way too fast for him to avoid. And he also loops out going into turns 2.
Well, I guess
and also is going to collect Brandon Steele, it looked like.
Yeah, well, the good thing for Stephen Hill was he didn't actually go upside down. He's only missing that front wing. It can be a bit of a pain in the back. So what's it like? I know you used to getting into the wall sometimes, and that's not a cheap jab at you, but what's it like racing these 4 10-wing sprint cars without a front wing? What kind of effect does it play on the race car?
In the 410s, it makes a pretty big difference. In a 360, you can kind of get away with a little bit, but in the 410s on a fast track like this, it makes it a little struggle. The car doesn't get as much bite in the turns as you want it to. The front end feels a little bit floaty. And unfortunately, for guys who you don't have the perfect setup, if your setup's off just a little bit, losing that front nose wing can really, really upset the car. So they're going to have to move the wing around, find out what's comfortable again, but there's no promises you can ever be as fast as you would be if you had it.
All right, on board with Lewis Hewitt on this restart. So you're watching the 13 just in front of him, the race leader of Austin Carr. So we get set to go back to green flag action here at the Eldora Speedway. Carr getting a good jump from Lewis Hewitt by a couple of car lengths as they go into turn number 1 and 2. And it's Austin Carr straight to the cushion, as is Lewis Hewitt. And you can just see that, well, the 3 machine of Hewitt, he's closing the gap on that number 13 machine. But, well, it's one thing to catch him, but now he's got to try and make the move and try and get past him.
Yeah, they both were on the cushion. They're both hitting it hard as Hewitt's going to lose a little bit of ground to Carr coming out of turn 2. Robert Kerstetter and John Batista run 2nd or 3rd and 4th. And Landis is making the bottom side work, trying to keep up with Batista. He's not falling back, and he's not really gaining. So there might be double lanes here, but he's going to lose a lot of time coming out of 2 as Batista ran the cushion perfectly.
You know, all the faster guys right now are on the top of the racetrack, on the cushion. Tyson Landis, the first car into the top 5 that was working the bottom side. We've seen Hewitt and Kerstetter both went to the bottom in 1 and 2. Now here comes Kerstetter to the inside of Hewitt into 3 and 4 with a slide job, picking up 2nd. I think Hewitt, he's got a lot of damage to that 3 machine. I think that might be his race done, because now here comes Batista on the inside of Kerstetter.
Hewitt took a big chunk of the wall coming out of turn 4, and he quickly got shuffled back to field, and I think that car is severely damaged. And then Cody Olsen is going to get into him as a caution comes out just to make it worse. And that car is definitely crab walking its way down pit lane. So Lewis Hewitt tonight, it looks like it's going to come to an end early, as he was running 2nd, got into the wall coming out of turn 4, but I do not believe that's the reason for the caution, Brett.
No, just having a look at the Colby's iPaint's instant replay. I believe it was the 20 of John Lowe, got into the cushion in 1 and 2 and spun the car in front of the field. He went down to the racetrack, thankfully not collecting anyone. It was actually quite lucky. So the 20 of John Lowe got the right rear over the cushion and shot the car sideways, drove down the racetrack. And that could have been disastrous, because there would have been probably a good 6 or 7 cars. There's 3, 6, there's 8 cars that he actually come down in front of. So he was very lucky not to collect anyone. But the 20 of John Lowe back on pit road, and another casualty here in race number 1 of the Joke as well, presented by Wicked Cushion.
The guy who gets the luckiest out of that whole deal is actually Craig Dunn. Had to shoot between Lowe and the wall to keep his night alive. He's up to 12th after starting 21st. But right now, John Batista has moved up into third, and I think he'll be a guy to keep an eye on. He had a little bit of a battle there with Kerstetter right before the caution came out, so we'll see if he's got anything for the top two. And Landis, once again, staying in the top 5, running the bottom side of the racetrack.
Right, I think we're on white flag at lap number 45. We've had 4 cautions so far, so it'll be white flag lap number 42. So 20 remain, 10 complete at the moment, so 1/3 of the race distance complete. And here we go, Austin Carr, Robert Kerstetter, and John Batista, Tyson Landis, Cody Olsen. Keep an eye on Alan Semel in the 73 as well. I believe he's leading the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series points. So he might be one to watch in the 73. It's just trying to avoid everyone. Your top 3 on screen, Austin Carr, Robert Kerstetter, and John Batista, all on the top of the racetrack. Cody Olsen up to position 4, one on the bottom side.
Landis, who restarted 4th, got stuck on the top side, may have gotten the wall. He's been shuffled all the way back to 9th position. As we got a battle up front, Batista slides, Kerstetter for 2nd, almost had a chance to get the lead from Carr. He's going to run back down to the bottom side of the racetrack, slide up to the cushion. Here comes Olsen on the bottom side on Kerstetter. As we single out now, as Carr is able to take advantage of Batista and Kerstetter battling to pull out to about a half a second lead.
Almost getting to a second lead right now through turns 1 and 2, but well, Batista, we know he's good at running the cushion. We know he's good at Eldora. Look, he's just good in general. And he now sets his sight on the 13 machines. You look at the times coming through on the previous lap. Very, very similar. Just about 6/1000 of a second separating the previous lap between Carr and Batista. Kerstetter in position 3. Rides the cushion again in through turns 3 and 4. Cody Olsen going through the middle and up to position 5 is the 00 of Dalton Connor, who I believe started in about 21st or 22nd.
Connor did start in the back of the pack. The top 3 are running the cushion, but you got to go back to about the 8th position or 9th position to find the first guy running the cushion, and he goes back down to the middle through 1 and 2. So a lot of the guys running the middle, taking the safe line, but the top cars are running the cushion. It's a fast way around.
Yeah, this is where this is what separates the men from the boys at the moment. This slick racetrack providing multiple grooves. Western Yule getting on by Alan Samo with a big slide job into turn number 1 and 2. So the 222 back up to position number 7 as he tries to rail the cushion. Samel fights back on the inside, but he can't make it happen. Western Yule now coming after the next 2 guys, Dalton Connor and Tyson Landis, who are side by side for 5th and 6th at the moment. Landis on the inside and Connor through the middle of 3 and 4.
Connors runs through the slick part of the turn to get ahead of Landis. Landis had the moisture, but unfortunately got a little out of shape, exiting 4 and through 1 and 2. 10 laps to go here as Landis looks back to the inside of Connor, but can't get the move. Connor doesn't give him enough room.
Well, Landis is no stranger to running the bottom side. He picked up his first World of Outlaws Sprint Cars win last season at Knoxville at night time. And now here comes Western Yule. Now actually Tyson Landis, he won that race by running the bottom side. Oh, Landis and Connor make contact. And here comes Western Yule. He gets 2 for 1 in one corner. It just goes to show this racetrack is black slick from top to bottom at the moment. And the cushion is super dominant right now. As you go back towards the front of the field, we have a look at Kerstetter getting into the wall in 3 and 4. Batista still in 2nd. And there's no change between the distance between Austin Carr and John Batista.
Batista started the reel him in, but got in the wall and lost it all. But now the big problem is going to look Austin Carr right in the face. He's got a heap of lap traffic right in front of him. This could shape up the field, and these guys are battling for position in front of Carr, so they're not going to move over and give him the position.
Exactly. He's coming up to lap 12th place of Brandon Steele, and he does so, and he disposes him very quickly. Now, Craig Dunn, he's the next car on the target. For that 13 machine is done through the middle of turns 3 and 4. Well, it's almost pretty much a hand-me-down. Oh, who was that? I think was that Robertson, the 93, who was coming up the racetrack. Car with a slider on Chris Robertson. Austin Carr, he has disposed of about 3 lap cars in a matter of moments there. As now here comes Batista. He gets on by Brandon Steele. And now he's got 2, 3, 4 lap cars between himself and the race leader. Oh no!
Oh, contact up front!
Yeah.
Austin Carr got in the Dalton Connor. He was making his way through lap traffic quick, maybe too quick, as he's going to struggle to get in the Connor. Now he's got to work on Tyler Curtis.
Well, this is why he's the race leader. He's maneuvering all over the racetrack at the moment. And Batista, you can see slowly starting to reel in the 13 of Austin Carr. Batista, the white flag is out the final time. Oh, Curtis got a little sideways in front of Batista, and that's going to put a dampering on the race for Batista as he goes 3 wide with 2 lap cars into 3 and 4. Austin Carr gets the win. Second is going to go to John Batista. Third is going to be Robert Kerstetter. And how do you pick the field in that one? They all stop on the back straightaway. But man, Zane, what a race, what a finish there. It had everything. Lap cars, slide jobs. It was all there in the final stages of that race.
Oh my goodness. Austin Carr was coming up on a whole field of lap traffic. He wasted no time picking him off because he knew Batista was going to come and try to get him if he got caught up. But unfortunately for Carr, he made quick work and avoided disaster with some contact with some lap cars as Batista got caught up in him. But Kerstetter also was making a little bit of a charge on Batista there at the end. So luckily for Batista, he didn't get too caught up and lose the second position.
All right, we have our race winner ready for an interview. And David, tell you, why don't you make this way down to Victory Lane, and I'll let you do the interview with Austin Carr.
I'm down here in Victory Lane for the first race on the night before the Royal with Austin Carr. Austin, you started up front, you ran the cushion almost the whole race, and then at the end, you saw a bunch of lap traffic. What was going through your mind there as you were coming up as Batista was just a second behind you?
Yeah, I was getting crazy there at the end, and I was just trying to pick my way through lap traffic, and I'd go off in the corner in the middle right there, and my car would just get crazy tight, and it wasn't like that on the cushion at all, so I was just kind of baffled by that, so just had to pick and choose the way through there, but I, if he would have been right behind me through lap traffic there, the way I was tight, he would have got me for sure, but it was a good race overall.
Saw there before the lap traffic, you were on the cushion, and as a lot of iRacers know, for the fans at home, maybe explain to them what it's like having to run that cushion here at Eldora, because it can be pretty mean.
Yeah, you get up there, and honestly, I was kind of avoiding into 1 and 2, getting way up in there and just kind of drifting up to it, and just trying to ease back into it and get it off because that thing would just like jerk you straight into the wall if you get on the gas at the wrong time. And then also 3 and 4 towards the middle, it just felt like there was like it just kind of rips into you, and it's the only way you can really explain it. And kind of just wants to shoot the car out, and it's tough, but it makes it interesting for definitely 30 laps.
It was definitely interesting to say the least, but I know there's a couple people that you got to thank that got you up here.
Got to thank United Dirt Sim Racing Association with Chase Cabray, Michael Rosendahl, Jamie, Dave, everybody over there, Cody, and also Jason. Dirtco Media House, Dirt Car Racing, Sprint Car Insiders, Tim Hunt Designs. We're all sponsoring the car, and you guys up here in the booth.
All right, Austin, taking home race 1. We hope to see you in race 2, and good luck. Brett, I hear you got John Batista with you.
Now standing by the 39 machine of John Batista. He had a great race. John, congratulations on second. Basically, from the start of the night, you put behind the 8 ball. Talk about that heat race. You come from 6th to, I think it was 2nd there, and that feature race you come from 7th, and you made your way out the 2nd.
Yeah, the heat race was pretty interesting. A lot of net code and stuff like that, and they're just kind of, starting last in the heat. You got to be super aggressive, especially when it gets to be one lane like it did towards the end of the feature there. Well, the whole feature, but you just got to make your moves fast, and from there, I think I finished 2nd in the heat, so I started pretty good. And again, like I said, you just got to make your moves quick.
Well, this racetrack was slick from bottom to top. I mean, you were fast on the cushion. We obviously know the cushion is the place to be, especially at a place like Eldora. How did you prepare going into the feature race, knowing that a lot of these faster drivers that know how to get it done are going to be on the top side?
I ran pretty good here. When did we race here? Last week or 2 weeks ago. without a front wing. Car felt a lot better this week with the front wing being on the car. So I was pretty confident going in. I know Austin was really fast. I think, yeah, he finished second last week or so. I mean, I just wish I found something at the end of the race there, and I was kind of reeling him in, and I smacked the wall, and then the lap traffic came in, and that was it was pretty awesome, but pretty interesting also. I just wish I would have tried what I had tried at the end to reel him in earlier in the race. It was a combination of a few different things, so that's unfortunate for me. But I don't. Yeah, the lap traffic was really cool, so I'm glad to see something a little bit different rather than just cushion riding single file trains. We actually had to do some maneuvering around these cars.
Oh, that was the next question I was going to ask you. So, kind of like you almost read my mind. Coming up with about 5 to go, I mean, there was pretty much a second between you and Austin for pretty much that entire race there. When you got into second, both you guys carrying pretty much the same amount of speed. What was going through your mind in those last 5 laps when Austin was catching lap traffic? All of a sudden, he passed about 3 or 4 cars, and then all of a sudden, there's that gap between you guys with those lap cars. I mean, how do you approach those guys? Because not only you got to pass them, but you got to think about that those guys are racing for positions as well.
I definitely saw an opportunity there when he started catching lap traffic because I had a little bit of a gap between he and the lap cars, so I wanted to make up a little bit of time before I got to the lap traffic, but unfortunately I smacked the wall again. So from there it was kind of just holding on for dear life. I think I was 3-4 wide there a few different times, and unfortunately I had to. I think I just completely killed Brandon there in turn 3, so I apologize for that. It was just, I mean, it was just chaos, and I just had to find a place to go and stick there. You couldn't really make a change to your line mid-corner or anything, especially, I think some of these people aren't running mirrors, so, and you know how iRacing sound is, you really can't hear anything around you, so that, kind of adds to the chaos a bit.
Well done on a second place here tonight. So before we let you go and celebrate with your team, no doubt, I'm sure you got some people you want to thank.
Yeah, Brett, you and Ultimate Dirt TV, Hammer Down Racing League for sponsoring our team. I want to thank Nathan for putting on a fantastic setup. I mean, our 410 setups have gotten really good lately. Yeah, my team at Black Diamond Motorsports. Chris for putting on the league, and good win to Austin.
All right, there we go. John Batista home in second place. Race 1 for the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. The Joker's Wild is done. Well done to Austin Carr, John Batista, and Robert Kirstead at your podium here. We'll take a short break. We'll have a new stream up on Hammerdown TV and also Ultimate Dirt TV's Facebook pages. And we'll also have a new stream up on the Ultimate Dirt TV YouTube channel as well. We'll be back in about 15 minutes time for the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series Joker's Wild race number 2, where we're going to crown another winner. We might see Austin Carr back in victory lane, but we're also going to crown the Joker's Wild champion for tonight.
Who's going to have even more excitement as we're going to go under the lights here at Eldora. So we've seen another strong field of cars and even better racing action.